We're live. I'm here in the center of Tokyo. This is Nihonbashi. You can see the sign right here marking Nihonbashi Chome. This is the one of the districts in Tokyo. This is a mercantile district. This is where a lot of businesses are. You can see behind me lots and lots of office buildings. And yeah, lots and lots of history as well. This is Nihonbashi during the Edo period, which is about 300 years ago. This is what the image looks like. I printed this out at home. It was made of wood originally. It connected the two sides of Edo at the time. This was called Edo Bridge before it was Nihonbashi, before the Nihon meaning Japan, Japan's bridge, it was Tokyo's bridge. And I'm gonna be explaining some of the history of this amazing bridge, which doesn't look so amazing anymore. I'm looking at it right now on the other side. But this is what it originally looked like. So this is a sort of a marker, this picture of what was once, and now is not. On the other side is Nihonbashi. Take a look. There it is. It does not look the same as in that picture anymore, does it? Nihonbashi is probably the most important bridge in Japan, at least by the name. You can see there's a marker telling the name Nihonbashi, and that road going over it is the highway. That's the highway that was built before the 1964 Olympics. And there's a lot of history, a lot of reasons why Nihonbashi looks the way it does. I'm not a fan of the construction that happened in 1964, right before the Olympics, to make this overpass. I studied Japanese history before I came to Japan a little bit in college, and one of the things that really displeased me was seeing that image that I just showed you and then seeing what Nihonbashi looks today. But despite all that, Nihonbashi is still a pretty cool place, not just because of the stores around and the fact that it's here in the center of Tokyo, but because there's a lot of history and things maybe that you have never seen before, even if you are Japanese and living here in Tokyo. So there's some things I'm going to introduce you to. First, I gotta wait for the red light. We're gonna cross over to Nihonbashi, to the actual bridge. There up there is the marker, Nihonbashi. Very strong. But that right there is the highway. That's not Nihonbashi, this is. So, it's somewhat disingenuous. Okay, so I'm gonna go into the history. I'm gonna go into the history a little bit. This here is a lion. This part of the Nihonbashi was built in 1911. Prior to that, this was all wood, as you saw in the image that I showed you before that I printed out. This is all steel, and this here is all stone. So Nihonbashi in 1911, it was built, rebuilt out of stone and steel. So the base of it is all stone and steel. You can see down here, all along the canal, it's so dark, isn't it? And Nihonbashi's got the shadows from the highway above. And it wasn't like this before the 1964 Olympics. The 1964 Olympics, I'm really mixed about, because thank you very much for the super chat. Mr. Michael Palokias wanted to donate at least once. Thank you, I appreciate the super chats. The highway was created in 1964 because after World War II, there was a lot of reconstruction going on here in Tokyo. They rebuilt the city extremely fast. I mean, just in the Japanese way, it was done very quickly, but it wasn't done right. And the highways in Tokyo, well, that's debatable if you think it was done right or not, but the highways in Tokyo were built along the riverbeds because everywhere else had already been built, and the property owners, it would have been too hard to build it quickly. So what they did was they drained a lot of the riverbeds in Tokyo, and the highways that go around Tokyo, they follow the riverbeds. There's a stretch in Ginza that you can see very clearly. If you rent a car and you drive Tokyo, it's easy to see that. But I'm gonna show you what I mean. If I turn the camera around, you can see how this highway above follows the river, and it loops all the way around. There's other areas where they've just completely drained the river and put the road in where the river used to be. It's an ingenious way, maybe in 1964, but now in 2017, we're left with, thank you very much for the super chat, Reverend 900, when are you coming to Mumbai? Hello from Tulsa, Oklahoma, $5. I'm reading the super chats, thank you very much for that, but I'm gonna stick to the history and go back to the super chats and comments at the end of the stream. So in 1964, they quickly rebuilt Tokyo and made it like the city of the future, but the problem was that the speed in which they built it also took away from some of the historical beauty of the city, and that can be seen most clearly here at Nihonbashi. Nihonbashi, again, what I showed you is the highway that loops around the city following the canal beds, the rivers. Tokyo is a canal city, but it's hard to see because you will find a lot of highways all over the place built above. All of them are earthquake protected, so if there is a quake, they will be, it will survive if it's made of stone here. Now, I showed you above here, this was made in 1911 and it's still here. So this is pretty cool. There's another marker saying Nihonbashi. Alright, so now we've established that Nihonbashi was made out of wood in the Edo period. Then in 1911 was built out of stone and metal and steel. And then in 1945, I'm now in the shadow of Nihonbashi. In 1945, they suffered what was historically the worst air raid in the history of war. Tokyo was absolutely flattened. It was pummeled by bombs, and on a day in 1945, this bridge was destroyed. I mean, it's made out of metal and stone, so it wasn't completely destroyed, but it was gone out of the river. And you can see here, this is something that a lot of people don't know about. There's still some scarring from the fires from 1945 that's still on the bridge. This patch here, a lot of people might not know it, but it's discolored because of what happened during the bombing. At least this is what I've been told anyways. It's hard to know what's fact and what's not fact, but after reporting on this bridge a couple of times, I was told that was left over, like a reminder, like a scarring or burn mark from the bombing raids of 1945. There are little reminders all around the city of what happened during World War II when the city was flattened, but at that time most things were built out of wood. So they're gone and everything was rebuilt into the modern city that you see today. But the things that were built out of stone, you can still see the scarring. And after this live stream, I'm going to show you another historical point in Nihonbashi. But I'm not done with Nihonbashi. We still got a lot more to see. Nihonbashi this place became famous during, I guess it was the Edo period around the 17th century, when the Nakasendo and the Tokaido, which are the two main roads coming from Tokyo, emanate going out towards Kyoto and Osaka. Now, Nakasendo, Naka meaning inside, the Nakasendo went into the mountains, and that's the road that probably tougher course to take. But the Tokaido, that's the one that you will see the ukiyo-e prints of. There were 53 or 54 stations, I think it was 53 stations along the Tokaido. All of those that road started right here at Nihonbashi. And I'm affectionately pounding the stone here to say, yeah, this bridge has been through a lot since 1911. 106 years now. So the Nakasendo and the Tokaido start here. All highways leading to Tokyo start at this spot. And you can find that spot in the center of the bridge. And I'm going to go over there right now. That's the symbol. That's the symbol of Nihonbashi, the mark that represents that this is where all the highway starts, okay? So I'm gonna go back onto the other side because you probably shouldn't go into the middle of the road. Although this is a safe area. Wait for the lights. So this marker here down below, this is the marker where Route 1 starts. Route 1 is the highway that goes from Tokyo to Kyoto and to Osaka, and you can still see Route 1 on the maps. That road follows the original Tokaido. There's the Nakasendo that went inside, but the marker does exist here in the center of the bridge, and it's something that it's easy to miss, isn't it? You'll walk right over the bridge and not know that there is a marker in the center of it. Behind me you can see the old district. This is the side that I came from. That's where Tokyo Station is located. And everything there is very modern, a lot of banks, a lot of businesses with new money, more new international businesses. Over there, that's more the old businesses, the old department stores there, Mitsukoshi. You can see that over here in the corner. Right there's Mitsukoshi, an old department store. So this is sort of the older side of Nihonbashi, and this is the newer side where there's more international businesses and new money. So Nihonbashi really does separate the old and the new. There's just so much to this bridge that I want to tell you. It's such a mix of styles, but just recently in the last, I want to say 2 or 3 years, the bridge has had something of a resurgence in conversation within the Japanese public. And I've been sort of vocal as well in it. Thank you, Nosh Abroad. I've been sort of in this moment of wanting to clean up Nihonbashi. They have here now tours that you can take along the canal. This tour was not here 2 or 3 years ago. I'm pretty sure of it. In fact, right over there is an information center. This is brand new as well. This was not here 2 or 3 years ago. And I'm so happy that one of the results of having the Olympics come here in 2020 is a debate. And this is a big debate on what they should do with the highways going over Nihonbashi. And my feeling is that they should do something else, because I do not like this highway going above me. You can see the historical old steel lanterns and gas lights that used to be. Now they're filled with LEDs. From Nihonbashi, there used to be a beautiful view of Mt Fuji. And Mt Fuji is over there in that direction. You could be historically in the center of the bridge. You could be historically in the center of the bridge, and you'd be able to get a view of Mt Fuji. That's probably not possible, even if you take these highways out. That's probably not possible to see Mt Fuji because we have a lot of tall buildings now lining along this canal. But there's an ambulance going by here, but I don't like this. You can see just how much traffic and how much business is going on around here. I'm not a big fan of this, the highways, and there's discussions right now on whether or not they should. They're having a research project right now whether or not they should relocate this highway and put it underground. And I said yes, put it underground. That's the way to go. Because if this is Japan's bridge, if this is Nihonbashi, and this is the most important bridge in Japan, it's gotta look beautiful. It's gotta look good. This country is too beautiful everywhere not to have this over it. You know, we've gone from something that was so beautiful from the Edo period when I started this video, the image that I showed you, to this. And this was the way that Japan was in 1964. But this is 2017, and I'm predicting that you're gonna see big changes in the next 5 years to this bridge. So this video, in a way, is a historical mark of what was here in 2017. I don't expect it to stay like this. But the bridge itself has a lot of beautiful aspects to it, and a lot of history, like the burn marks from the bombing raid of 1945, and the marker in the center of it. And there's a plaque over there that'll read and will declare, well, it gives a statement about the bridge as well. So there you have it, Nihonbashi. Thank you, Max. I hope that this helps you with a little bit of information and history about a section of Japan that's pretty important. It's pretty important still today. For those who want to take a break from the bridge, there's a Starbucks right over here. Of course, the Mitsukoshi department store. There's a lot of famous knives shops this direction. And my next live stream is going to be over there. So if you're watching, stay tuned. I'm putting up a link right here later on so you can go to the next live stream. It's going to pop up. Ah, hey!
Sorry, I hope I didn't interrupt.
Oh, it's okay. You don't have to cross the street to get pummeled by cars. You can see the marker here as well. This one is the marker from the highway that tells you this is Route 1, most important road in Japan. And over here we have a visitor to Japan. Where are you from?
I'm from India.
From India!
Wow, such a beautiful place this is. I mean, I'm absolutely loving it.
This is your first day here?
Yeah, my first day, and I hopped up and I just stumbled upon and met Mr. John. I've been watching his videos for months, just like you guys, and wow, it's amazing, amazing.
Well, I appreciate that. Why did you come here to Nihonbashi? This is weird. I was starting this live stream, and what was your name again? Drove, okay. I was starting the live stream and Drove was over here and he goes, hey, I know you. And I go, wonderful. You want to be in the live stream? Just wait till the end. I want to go through all this information. But what brings you to Nihonbashi?
Nothing. I just took a random station and I came here. And I was told, obviously, that this place is something, but I had to explore on my own. So, wow, this is brilliant.
So fate brought us together, brother. What is it about Tokyo what is it about Japan that made you want to come to visit here?
I'm actually an architect, so I came here for my internship. There's an architect called Fujimoto.
Okay.
So I'll be joining his office in a week or so. So yeah, I thought 5-10 days it would be great to just explore before joining my office. And it's amazing. It's great.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
So it's more and more, I think Japan's becoming more popular in India, would you say?
Yeah, I think probably because of the cultural roots that lie down, and also because I don't know, I think Indians are exploring more than they used to earlier, so that is kind of bringing up a lot of Indians here.
I think so, but the visa is still kind of hard to get, isn't it?
No, it took me 3 days to get it.
No way!
Yeah.
It used to be really, really hard, and now
it just took me 3 days. I gave all the documents, it was done.
You have a work visa, right? Or
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter?
No, not the work visa. Yeah, I'm here on my business visa right now for 3 months, and then it would be a a work visa.
Wait, can Indians just come here without a visa and just get a stamp in their passport?
I don't think so.
See, that's a problem, because I can do that as an American. I just get the stamp.
Obviously, yeah. So there are a few restrictions when it comes to Indians going to different countries.
Yeah.
Probably a lot of restrictions when you go to Europe or somewhere like. Probably France. I was there 2 years back, and then it took me like a month to get it. But like here, it was pretty easy.
Good. That makes me really happy to hear, because I had friends who had a tough time to get the visa. So why do you need a visa? But
probably because of the holiday visa, I guess. That's kind of difficult for you guys.
I think so. Yeah. So it's a pretty cool bridge. So I'm gonna end this live stream. I really appreciate everybody tuning in. It's nice to meet you, Drove, right?
Great, yes.
Yes. I appreciate everybody tuning into this live stream. If you do come to Tokyo, come to Nihonbashi. You can see some history, leftover traces from World War II. You can also see where all the highways in Japan start. And if you see that image that I showed you in the beginning, that all started right here. The Tokaido and the Nakasendo. It's a big part of Japan. So thank you very much for joining. I'm gonna turn the camera around for the next 20 seconds. Take a look at beautiful Nihonbashi.